I have been a family support provider now for 6 months. My experience with this process has been a real eye-opener for me. I really didn't know much about the process. I had a friend of mine who knew me and thought that this would be a really good fit for me and knowing my story, my background. So I looked into that and I put in an application and got the job right away, and it's been wonderful. There are times where you want to cry, you hear some really sad things, but one of the beautiful things about the process is helping kids and families to cope with the traumas that they've experienced in their lives, and to see that light shining through, to see those smiles break through when they weren't there before, seeing people make it through that process. And one of the things that I really love about the process in general is that we don't set goals for people. People tell us what they want, where they want to be when they're done with this process. And that's what we do, is to help them find a way to meet those goals, to attain those goals. And as a family support provider, I'm more specifically involved with trying to link them with resources within the community to make sure that by the time we're done with this wraparound process, by the time that they're graduated, they're transitioned out, that they're able to go out and to connect themselves with the resources that they need. They know where the food banks are, they found employment, whatever their goals may be. But one of the things that we do, and I say that because one of the things that we do is we help to advocate for people, not just linking to resources, but we advocate for people. In the engagement phase, typically we try to meet myself and my care coordinator. Of course, time demands, we don't always get to do that. A lot of it is just preparing for the client, trying to get as much background information as we can from a treatment plan. It gives us some good information, and it's all about building that rapport. It's not really sales, but in a way it is. You have to sell systems of care, the wraparound process. And if you can do that in that engagement meeting when you're first sitting down with those people, they always say first impressions are the most important, the most lasting, and that's absolutely true for our industry as well. And if we can get those people coming in there and walking away with a good feeling and knowing that we're there for them, we're not there to judge them, we're not there to tell them what they need to do, we're one of the first groups of people in their lives, if they've been involved with other systems, that actually allows them say in the editorial process. And a lot of people find that very refreshing. But in the engagement, that's a lot of it, to be honest with you, is just building the rapport, making sure they know how that we can help them, and finding out ways in that initial meeting, finding out the most important things they really need help with immediately. Because if you could say at the end of that meeting, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to improve your situation right now, whether it be the family has food insecurities and doesn't have enough to eat, or their son who's in services hasn't been to a doctor in 7 years, and we need to link them to that resource. It's a very important thing, and the hope that you can give people in that first meeting, that first impression, is just, it can be very powerful. When you don't follow through with people, you lose that trust. And once you've lost that trust, it's so difficult to gain that back. So I would say that's the most important part, is to build that initial rapport and then just not let it go, to never break your word, and to make sure that they know that they can trust you. Because if they can't trust you, how are they going to open up to you? How are you really going to be able to be effective and to help that family? You're not, I don't think. Fellow FSPs and families, just don't give up. Stay the course, learn all that you can. There are so many tools out there, and I'm constantly reading, constantly getting emails, and you're gonna get inundated, and you're gonna wanna say, stop sending me emails, but don't do that. Never throw one of them away, never just breeze through. Make sure to look at everything, because you never know where you're going to find that little nugget of information that's going to be able to make the difference for a family. And for families, it's the same thing. I know sometimes this process seems like it's going nowhere. I know sometimes that the paperwork is just, it's hard to believe that it's as beneficial as it is, but it is. And if I could stress that to families more than anything, it's just that paperwork that seems like it doesn't do any good, that lets us know how we're helping your family, how we're helping your kids, and that's what we're here for. We're not here to give you a lot of extra burden and to make you work harder. That's not what we're here for at all. We just want to help, but we have to know whether we're helping or not. And without these evaluations, there's no way for us to determine that. Stick with your people, FSPs, keep your promises. If you can't keep your promise to a family, you're going to have a really difficult time getting them to agree to anything in the future. Stay true to your word, and that's it.